says we're recording. All right. So this is LotLot. Little of this, little of that. Um, can you tell people your name, please?
Heck yeah, my name is Fabián Pavón.
Cool, man. And where are you from?
From the city of Pomona, born and raised, also known as Toibingna, Tongva and Quiche land.
Hey, that's what's up, man. So, the purpose of why I wanted to do this is, I've seen that you do a lot for your community, and I think that's dope. And I myself would want to do something like that. Like, I want to be a part of something, and like, I want to feel good about myself, and I want to do good for my community. And I feel like I'm not doing enough, and I feel like just watching you, it inspires me, and I kind of just want to like pick your brain and see where you're at, and I want to tell people how you got to this point, and how maybe they can get involved also.
Sounds good
So
to me.
maybe we could start like where you grew up, and like maybe where you went to school, maybe some of your school background.
Yeah, definitely. So like I said, born and raised here in Pomona. Grew up here. Same neighborhood my whole life. And I went to schools out here in Pomona too. Madison Elementary, Fremont Middle, Gary High School, and then I went to Mount Sac right here, which is close by. And then after that, I transferred to UC Santa Barbara, and now I graduated from there, got my bachelor's. I came back home here in Pomona, and I am sorry, my dog's under me.
That's all good.
I am, and so I right now I applied to the PhD in ethnic studies at UC Riverside. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get in right there, because I want to, I want to stay close by, and whatever I do in my research, I wanted to focus in on Pomona. I want to write, eventually like the goal, and I want to use the PhD for it, at least to get it started. The goal is to write a book about Pomona that focuses on social movements led by people of color, so like
Okay.
a history of Pomona that focuses on people of color.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, did you out of high school go like directly to community college, or did it take you some time? Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, so I went directly to community college. Yeah, it's just, when I was in high school, like I was messing up a lot, but like I knew that I wanted to do something with my life. I didn't want to just, work at a, fast food restaurant, anything like that. I wanted to do something else. And so, I was taking the Chicano studies class in high school in 12th grade, and they took me to UC Riverside to go visit it. That was actually the first university that I ever stepped foot on. And, I saw how beautiful it was. And I was like, wow, like I've never seen a school look beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew that I needed to go to college, but I didn't know how to get there. I kind of gave up on it once I started learning about like SATs and all this shit, and,
Hmm.
and having to pay. And like at that time, like I didn't know any better, I was like, I'm not going to pay to take a test, like
Right.
I'll barely take them right now for free, why am I going to pay to take one? And then, but I don't know, like then somebody like from Mount Sac, like from their high school outreach program, they came to Gary High School when I was in high school right there, and they walked us through the process, and that's the only reason I ended up at Mount Sac, because they literally walked me through the process, and they helped me out every single step of the way. So that's how I ended up at Mount Sac. I went straight over there.
That's what's up. So like, I maybe that's why you feel like you want to give back to the youth, because that was like that light was kind of a little shown on you.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit of it. Yeah, definitely. People invested in me, so I know the importance of that. Of investing in youngsters and in the community.
And how do
You
you
know.
how do you feel about school right now, like high school? Do you feel like they care, like maybe specifically in Pomona right now? Like, how do you feel about that right now? I know you're kind of trying to change like the like what's being taught, but how do you feel in general? Like, do you feel like there needs to be more involvement with the community, or how do we go about that? Like, what do you think? Like,
I think with PUSD right now. So check this out. So like I've been learning a lot about PUSD lately, because I've been pushing for ethnic studies, right? So right now
mhm,
we're in the negotiation mode right now
okay,
with the administration at PUSD. I've been learning a lot about them, and they don't do much to like change things where there can be significant improvements in the in the um in the in the way our students perform. They don't do much, bro. It stayed the same. Like
Mhm.
if you look at like the rates of the comprehension rates, or like the level of reading that the students are at, like they're behind, and it's been this way for decades, dude.
Right.
So like what does that tell us? They haven't been doing what they need to be doing. Like they don't put in quality programs. They don't put in programs that are proven to improve the way students perform academically. Like the leadership
Right.
they don't give a damn, man. They don't give a damn about the teachers. They try to cover up scandals.
Mhm.
They like I don't know, like I think I heard something about like somebody in Diamond Bar. They had, I mean, in Diamond Ranch, like they had like an affair with a student or something like that, and they ended up promoting that person into another school or into the
Wow.
administration, just so that they can brush it under the rug and stuff. And they're known for doing all kinds of things like that, bro. So it's like, man, like that doesn't show me that they have our best interests in
Right.
mind. Like even me going to school like at Gary, they would allow things where the police could come in and interrogate youth without the presence of an adult.
Hmm.
And so like that, and that's just wrong too. So like all of their like they have a lot that they need to
Right.
improve. They don't listen to the community. They You have to jump through hoops to make them listen. Like for ethnic studies, like I had to corner them to make sure that they listen. And finally, we're getting, I think we're getting somewhere, but we're still not where we need to be.
Right. It's still, even still gonna be it's like, it's still battle on battle. Like you win one thing, but it's like now you gotta convince these other people or something like that, right? Is that
And see, and it's like and there's been people like me challenging these systems and the institution of education, right? Like there's been people like me challenging this, right? But like it's been this way. It started off this way. It's designed to be this way.
right?
So it's like they're not going anywhere. Every year they're gonna come up with some bullshit. And but it takes like an organized front that's in solidarity with each other to make sure we challenge them and that we win.
Okay. So, I know that you like fix parks, right? So
Yeah.
like, do you do that because like you feel like let's make our environment better, and like let's make the youth feel like welcomed in this area, and like do you think in return that like makes the youth want to like be better than what like society like thinks like certain areas should be or something like that, like like I think that's what you're going for, or what made you decide that like to do that?
So I got here with what I'm doing with the parks, right? So you know with a lot of and this is like personal. Like I take like what I do, like anything that I do, like whether it be we're pushing for ethnic studies in PUSD, or pushing for our parks to be improved through the city of Pomona. Like it's all, a lot of it is a reflection of who I am and why and how I grew up. What I do, like in these two areas, right, of ethnic studies with PUSD and parks with the city of Pomona. Like I take it personal. And I
Yeah.
take it, I take like a critical race perspective to everything that I do with this, right? And so
Right.
like growing up in Pomona, it's important to kind of understand the way Pomona was developed. And so like with Pomona, there was these institutionalized racism existed, right? And so how did that look in Pomona? And so institutionalized racism looks differently depending on which area you want to focus on, right? But if we're looking at like urban planning,
Hmm.
then there was neighborhoods that were redlined in Pomona. And so basically with redlining, that's just like basically
Is that like the tax, like the how the city gets money or something or something like
It's
that?
it's more like when they're building the cities or the neighborhoods, or like developers created a map.
Mm-hmm.
of the city, and because there were segregated neighborhoods in Pomona, they would look at a map and they'll be like, okay, so a lot of brown people live here, so let's shade that area red on the
Right.
map, and let's give it a failing grade. It's like a grade
Mm-hmm.
scale. If there's like a bunch of like white people that are rich that live in the neighborhood, they shade that area, I think, like blue or green, and they give it like an A grade, right? And so that basically tells other developers, it tells the city, it tells banks, it tells like real estate agents that, oh, okay, so that neighborhood is has a failing grade. It has it was shaded red, so we shouldn't invest in that neighborhood, right? And so the reason why these neighborhoods, so black and brown neighborhoods were redlined. They were shaded red, bro. And so that, like I said, that told everybody else, don't invest in this neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because these people live there, right? And so that left like decades of like of not investing in red line neighborhoods. And the
Right.
neighborhood that I grew up at was redlined, right? And Tony Serta Park. So like the park behind me, my virtual background is Tony Serta
Mm-hmm.
Park right there. And so it's in a neighborhood that was redlined. And it was also one of the first Mexican barrios here in
Okay.
Pomona. And then there another neighborhood that was redlined in Pomona is like the Hamilton Park neighborhood. And so right there, so yeah, that's another park. And that was another very that was also one of the very first Mexican barrios in Pomona as well. And so these neighborhoods were redlined, right? So they were not invested in, right? And
Right.
so neighborhoods that were redlined, and we gotta keep in mind this was like 1920s, 1930s. By the 1930s, redlining became illegal. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but 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 it still left decades of disinvestment in the neighborhoods. So that
Okay.
means that these particular neighborhoods were the last to get like paved roads. They were the last to get parks and green spaces. They were the last to get indoor plumbing. They
Mm-hmm.
were the last to get actual houses rather than shacks. And a lot of these neighborhoods that were redlined, they had some of the highest tuberculosis rates. And so, like, keep in mind, these black and brown neighborhoods, have these neighborhoods that look, all messed up and dilapidated because they're not invested in, and they're not able to afford money, they're not able to build wealth in
Right.
these neighborhoods, right? Whereas like in white affluent neighborhoods, they're able to build wealth because they're able to own property, they're able to buy their houses and sell their houses or rent their houses, right? The value of their property goes up, right? And so they're able to build that generational wealth and pass it down to their kids, right?
Right.
Whereas people that grew up in these particular neighborhoods, it's not the same, right? And so I try to make that connection, like where, look, like I tell people, like just because redlining is illegal, uh, just because segregation is illegal, it doesn't mean that we actively work to combat the effects of those things, decades of those
Right.
things, right? Of institutionalized racism. And I tell people, like I go to Tony Serta Park and I tell them, like, look, like, this neighborhood was not invested in as much as other neighborhoods because black and brown people lived here. And now it's 2021. Look at the park, right? Look at the neighborhood,
Right.
right? It's still predominantly black and brown. The park is still filled with, soccer leagues with predominantly black and brown children playing, right? And then I tell them, like, so how Pomona it gets hot. California, Southern California gets hot,
Mm-hmm.
and we have these soccer leagues. Where are the water fountains? There's no
Right.
water fountains at the park, right? And if you look at the restrooms at Tony Serta Park, it resembles the restrooms in segregated Mexican schools of the 30s, the 1930s.
Damn.
So I tell them, like, look, we still, we're still living in. They got us living in the past, and that park also didn't have any picnic tables since the 90s, but I finally got them back in there. And so for me, it's like it's a matter of race and racism and
Okay.
challenging that, right? Like that's how I see it. I'm challenging it, by making sure that they invest in our neighborhoods, right? And by
Yeah.
making sure that the kids have a safe place to play, right? And so that's like one aspect of it, right? But when I came back from UC Santa Barbara, like I made my name known a little bit, and then and I was appointed to Parks and Recreation, the Parks
Okay.
and Recreation Commission for the city of Pomona, right? And so it's a volunteer position, right?
Mhm.
But like when I got appointed, like I decided to visit all of the parks that I was gonna
Okay.
represent, right? And then I ended up seeing like our parks are so they're like so neglected by they were so neglected by the city, that like I would go to the parks and homeless people would sleep in the parks. And I found when I would survey the parks so that I can like report back to the commission, like I would see people that I grew up with
Wow.
living at the parks, homeless, strung out on drugs,
Damn.
And I was like, man, like this is messed up. Like we can't be allowing stuff like this. We need a drastic change. We need to uplift these parks. We need to make sure the city invests in these parks. And so like in all these parks that I represent right now, they're parks that I grew up going to, visiting, hanging out, and doing all that stuff. And but like now I get to represent them, and I get to like get the city to fix them or organize community members to fix up the parks, right? Because before when I grew up here in Pomona, I was like, yeah, like I never left Pomona. I was like, yeah, Pomona's beautiful. It's great the way it is. I love the city. And then I went to UC Santa Barbara, and I went to Santa Barbara. Oh my God, like when I went out there, I was like, wow, Pomona doesn't have anything, right? Like in UC Santa Barbara, when I lived out there, like I would walk 5 minutes and I'll get to the beach, right? Or I'll get to
Right.
a green space or a park or something like that. Here, you walk 5 minutes, you get to an empty lot. You get to a place where there's a bunch of illegal dumping. You get to you get to the railroad tracks.
Mhm.
Nothing nice at all for the kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's messed up. And in Santa Barbara, it's predominantly white, affluent. And here it's not like that. But I'm like, you know what? Nah, man, like we deserve way better.
Right.
We need to invest in our neighborhoods, right? And so to me, I take it personal. And and it's been a lot of like me being on the commission is it's been a lot of telling staff to do their job because
Right.
they haven't been doing their job, dude. They really haven't. And so I chew them out, because they give me a reasons to chew them out.
Right.
But it's just because I want these parks to be in tip top shape. Because like I said, we deserve better. Our kids deserve the best. We need to invest in our parks, and that's why like I go hard with this.
That's tight, dude. And like, how do I say? Like, I think it's tight because it's like, how do I say this? Like that you care, and it's like I think when we grow up, we just kind of accept things. And I think when you talk and you say these things, like you're telling me, you're like giving, like you're letting people know, like, no, this is not the way it should be. Like when you go to other places, it's not like this, and we shouldn't just accept what is, and we should. It sucks that we have to fight for things, but someone, like someone has to do it. If not, we're just gonna keep getting the leftovers, just like people want, right? So
That's right.
that's what you're doing.
That's right, man. So like it's up to us, to go to our neighborhoods, like and some people like, they go out away for college, they're from Pomona, they go away from college and they don't come back. And I don't blame them, dude. Like I
Right.
really don't. Like I don't hate on nobody that decides to move out and live somewhere better. Like I really don't, because like I can't blame you. Like I can't
Right.
blame anybody for that. Like we all want to live somewhere that's nice and a safe place for our kids to live in. So like I can't be mad at anybody for that. But for those that decide to stay, like we just gotta work together with this, and we really gotta advocate, because if not, we'll be left behind like we've been.
Kind of like Nipsey Hussle. Like, he just like not all the rappers went back, but he himself decided, like, hey, like I'm gonna add value to where I came from
That's
and make
right,
people want.
man.
hmm So that's what's up, man.
Exactly,
Um,
that Nipsey Hustle, bro.
I had a question though. Like, so I didn't know that you were like you got appointed to do that for the parks, but like, let's say me, right? Okay, let's say, cause I grew up in La Puente. So I mean, like, would you have to, like, how does one start that journey? Like, would you have to ask like the city for a permit to like fix the park, or you have to know, like, you have to work for the city, or how does someone go about that?
Well, well, just like starting off, like with me being appointed to be the parks commissioner, like really the only thing I really have to do like as a parks commissioner is basic, like the bare minimum is I just need to attend a meeting once a month, and that's it. the Parks Commission meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
All this other stuff, like I did on my own behalf, just me being a community organizer and activist and stuff like that. Like, I but like, I was already a community organizer. I was already an activist before I became a Parks Commissioner, right? But now I'm just able to like combine the two, right?
Right.
Like being a commissioner, like they have to listen to me, like the city
Right.
has to listen to me, right? Whereas like if I was just a activist making noise, they probably wouldn't listen to me. But I mean, like here in Pomona, like it the I think like anybody could do this. Like it's just like knowing if there's any rules, and the best thing to do is just to be like, let's say you have an idea for a certain place, you can just and you want to organize your community to like help you with it and build it up and stuff. I mean, the best thing to do is just to ask the city, just ask them like, hey, like for example, let's say you want to do a community garden at the park, like just hit up the city and be like, hey, like I want to do a community garden at the park, like what do I need to do, you know?
Mm.
It does help, like if you're an appointed official like myself, like with the Parks and Rec, it helps a lot, dude, because you just have so much more resources and connections, but anybody can do it on the in the reality that anybody can do it. You just gotta like kind of dig a little bit, right? Like find out if your city has a Parks and Recreation Commission.
Right.
Like find out what types of commissions that they have, and if you want to be a commissioner, like find out what you have to do to apply. Like here in Pomona, like you just there's a form and you just fill it out whenever the positions are open, and they choose, they get to choose who they want, but with La Puente, like I don't know if they have a Parks and Recs commission,
Mm-hmm.
so I would say like look into that, and maybe start attending their meetings and just like, or attend city council meetings, see what they talk about, speak during public comment, and just find out like who that's down, or like let's say you get a project, you get permission to do some type of project, or even a cleanup, at a park, like start putting it out there, on the Facebook groups, or whatever you do to communicate with people in La Puente, and just be like, hey, like I'm gonna do this and that at the park. If anybody's down to join me, and then little by little you'll start building it up, bro. Like right now, like I've gotten to a point where I don't have to publicize what I do on social media anymore. Like I just send direct messages to people, and boom, like we get like 20 people out, and that's, but it just, because it takes time though, to be able to build that up, but like wherever you want to start off at, like just start informing yourself about your city and how it works,
Right.
and see who, like research like who's in charge of what, right? Like specifically, like if you want to do parks, like just find out who's in charge of your parks, and
Right.
start asking them questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of been paying attention a little to La Puente. There's some guy who actually kind of does that. He's like really big on like posting like the meetings and stuff like that. Right now, what they're doing is a lot of like they're trying to do like a gang violence, like to stop gang violence type thing. So I don't know if you know her name's like Hillary Solis or something, but she went to La Puente and she's like in like Congress or something like that. But she's
Oh,
like, so
Hilda Solis.
what happened?
Hilda Solis.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
said her name wrong, but I believe she went to La Puente, and so like
yeah.
they're trying to get like people who are up there to kind of like everyone to work together and like kind of like I don't know, help with violence and stuff. I mean, I don't even know how you tackle that, but that's a whole nother thing itself. So
Yeah, I'll
I don't
tell
know
you
if
this,
if
bro.
you do stuff like that or not, or just parks or
I'll tell you how to tackle that, bro. We need quality programs at our parks, bro. Like we need to fill up our parks with community programs for the youth. We need
Mhm.
all of that, bro. Like a heavy investment. Like if you want to eliminate gangs, like you have to target the youth. You got to keep
Right,
them busy. You got to create avenues where like they learn different things that they can eventually use when they're older, and
right,
do something with it, right? And like if the youth are preoccupied with all kinds of other activities, they're gonna find gangs less attractive, and eventually the gangs will dwindle, dude. But it's just that, like, I don't know, bro. Like our our leaders don't always have that in mind, they
right,
don't, not always, but little by little, like that's why también, like at Tony Sutter Park, like they have a stage, nobody uses it, bro, like
right.
at all. So I decided to use it, like I was like, oh, it's perfect. This is the best thing I could do. I could do some programs right here. Like, and so I started hosting an open mic every month,
Mm-hmm.
and with like children's art activities and stuff like that, and so now like the kids, they have something to do, once a month right there at the park. And then little by little, more people started doing more programs at the park, like on their own behalf. So it's kind of like trying to get nonprofits and individuals and organizations who have like certain skills or certain talents, and just get them to take up space at the park.
So
Big way.
for maybe someone who's about to go to college, what majors can they go for them to do things that you're doing that'll help them? I mean, I know you don't need college to help out, but like what directions, like, cause me, I went back to school. I'm doing urban studies.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still doing my like my general right now, but that's what I want to go to. But what do you say, like, what are some like majors you think that'll help people out?
I think urban studies is tight. Like for real, like urban studies is dope. That's a good one. That's a really really good one, because eventually you can be a city manager, or you can be a director in one of these areas, right? That where you have a lot of power to be able to do things, right? I know the one, what helped me is my major, Chicano studies, like that shit. It helped me a lot because I was able to study my own community. I was able
Right.
to use, I was able to do studies about the education system in my community, the school to prison pipeline, in my community. I was able to, and what's cool is that it's interdisciplinary, right? So you can get, so like with my major, I got the urban planning part of it. I got the political science part. I got the sociology part, right? I got the history part. I
Hmm.
got all of that in my major. So I mean, I would say like ethnic studies is great as well, just because you can focus on a lot of different things. Urban planning is perfect because it's, city planning needs
Public
urban
planning.
developers, yeah, all of that, bro. So yeah, man. But I'm always biased towards ethnic studies and Chicano studies, so I would say do that.
Yeah, right now I'm doing Native American studies.
That's
So that,
perfect.
yeah, it's cool. I mean, man, college is dope. Like, when I think when you go back, for people who like want to go, who think about going back, like I think when you're older, you appreciate it more or something like that. So
Definitely.
I just appreciate learning. It's cool. What else did I wanted to ask? So how can people get involved with your movement? Like, so, like, are you just through IG, or like how do you go about it? Like, how could people like follow what you're doing right now, or do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, I think IG is probably the best way just because I post everything right there. IG, Facebook is good. I have Twitter, but like I don't always post what I do on Twitter, but IG
Right.
is always perfect.
Okay.
That's probably the best place to find out what I'm doing if people want to get involved.
Hmm.
And in this month, actually, we're gonna start a community garden at Cesar Chavez Park in Pomona on the 13th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And then on the 20th, I'm going to do a little landscape project at Memorial Park in Pomona at 9 a.m. as well. So that's all this month. And then on 27th, we're gonna do a little unveiling ceremony at Cesar Chavez Park for like the unveiling of the community garden right there. And that's gonna be on the 27th of this month. So that's three things that people can come and get involved with in this month alone. Yeah, and they're all Saturdays in the morning.
Okay. Is there anything, like, let's say it's for someone who's kind of skeptical about, like, hey, COVID, all that. Is there something they could do online maybe, like, or like, I don't know, or like petitions? I don't know anything. Like, is there anything that, or websites they could go to maybe, like, to kind of get their mind started on it, or?
I would say, the best thing to do right now is just maybe attend some parks and recreation meetings, so that way they can get informed on some of our plans for the future. We have a lot of really great plans for the future.
Hmm.
So our meetings are every third Thursday of the month at 6 p.m. And all you got to do, you can follow me, and I post the information as well, or you can just follow the city of Pomona and they post the information as well. And so again, the Parks and Recreation meetings, I'm the chair, so I run them. So I think that's a great way to get your foot on the door for anybody, and they're all through Zoom right now. So If
Okay.
anybody, yeah. So for folks that are need want to be cautious about
Do
COVID
you
19.
do you have to be from Pomona, or can anyone help?
Anybody, anybody who wants to help can help. Anybody who wants to learn can tag along, can watch the parks meetings, and I encourage y'all, man, because we need this everywhere. Because I know, like, it's kind of like Ice Cube says, like every hood's the same. La Puente is very very similar to Pomona, and
Yeah.
Puente has a few unincorporated areas as well, and it also has neighborhoods that were once redlined as well. I looked at the map too. So yeah, man. And I even met some cool people in La Puente one time. Like I don't know if this organization still exists, but there's an organization called Bridging Social Knowledge, BSK.
Hmm.
They used to do a lot of really good work too, but I don't know if they're still up and running. They were all older than me when I was hanging around them. So I don't know if they moved on with their life already and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I know, like, there's good folks in La Puente doing work out there.
Yeah, there
There's
is. I've
really
been
like,
watching. So
yeah,
I feel like me, like I need to. I feel like I want to do something. Like I've always wanted to do something, and I feel like like I feel like public planning, like things like that. I feel like that's where it's at. Like helping the community out, make people feel maybe make people feel at home in their own city.
that's right.
Welcomed in their own city. So I feel like when people feel like the city's against them, that's when they start, wanting maybe to join gangs and stuff because
Uh-huh.
they feel like they're not welcome or something. So I think that's dope what you do, man. Like honestly, like I'm glad that you took the time to talk to me about it because
Gotcha,
it's dope,
man.
bro.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, it's an honor, bro. Like, you wanting to talk to me about what I do, man. Like, I really appreciate that. And whatever you need, whatever I can help you out with in La Puente, if you want to do something similar, let me know. I'm down to walk the parks out there with you. I'm down to give my 2 cents. If you want to come over here in Pomona, I'd be more than happy to show you what we've been doing out here también.
Yeah, right. I think that'll be better for me. Like kind of just like see what's up. Like kind of just like see what you do and then go from there. So yeah, I definitely I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm definitely gonna make it to something, man. Cause honestly, like that's what's up.
Cool.
So
Sounds good.
for the last thing, I'm just gonna do some random. It's like a random funny question. So
All right, let's do it.
just kind of, all right, ready? What's your zodiac sign?
Pisces.
Hey, wait, so your birthday just passed or is gonna come?
It's gonna be on Monday, March
Hey, that's
8th,
what's up, man. Happy early
International Women's
birthday.
Day.
What happened?
It's during International Women's Day on March 8th.
Hey. All right. Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle? Which one?
Charmander.
Hey, that's what's up. What's your favorite TV show?
On my block.
I never seen it. I'm gonna check it out.
It's pretty funny, especially
It's
the second
on
season.
Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay, okay. Favorite shoes?
Nikes.
Like, do you have a specific kind?
Air Force Ones.
Air Force One. Okay. Classics.
Yo.
Do you have a top three rapper, dead or alive?
Top three?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Tupac,
Okay. I like
Biggie, of
Tupac.
course, and Sick Jackin from Psycho.
Okay. That's what's up. Just two?
No, yeah, Biggie, Tupac,
Oh,
and
Biggie. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah,
I think I saw that was your profile, like on you showed your yearbook or something like that. Was that
yeah,
you?
that was me. Yeah,
What's up? You got some songs or what?
yeah, I got a bunch of old ass songs, on
Hey
YouTube.
man, never
Yeah,
too late to do something for fun.
yeah, shit. I'll spit a verse if you want to.
Hey, do something. Hey, do it. Go ahead.
All
I'm
right,
down.
let me close my door real quick.
All right.
All right, I haven't done this in a long time, but check it out.
All right. Let's see what's up.
America, you never gave a fuck about me. Still march these streets proudly with a brown and black army. Starving, hungry for justice, but can't eat. MLK had a dream, and now we can't sleep. Our leaders get killed off, so we remain sheep. But roses in the parks where she stays, planting seeds, grass rooted in the movement, breaking through the concrete. Take a stroll through my city, you could feel its heartbeat. Take a walk through my block, hear the ghetto birds scream. That's it for now.
Yeah, yeah, bro. That's what's up. I felt that. I could feel. The way you rap is how you. I feel like you approach Everything. I could feel it. I felt that. All right, let's see. Favorite album, if you have one.
Me Against the World by
Okay.
Tupac.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Panther, 1995. It's a Black Panther movie. It's on YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
It's called 1995.
Panther, 1995.
Okay. All right, two more. If you had a superpower, which if you could have one superpower, which one would it be?
I always wanted to fly, dude.
Hey, dude. Have you ever had a dream of that? I had a dream of that once.
I have it all the time, bro.
Really?
All the time. Yeah, they told me that it means that I want to feel free.
I could see that because, yeah, in my dream, I was getting chased the whole time. I was like in a car getting chased. It was weird. And then at the end, there was like a dead end. I got out the car and then like it was a goat or something chasing me. It was weird. And then I just put my hand up and I knew I could fly. It was weird. All right, last one. Where do you see yourself in a year?
In 1 year,
Yeah, a year from now, where do you see yourself?
hopefully in a PhD program, ethnic studies, UC Riverside.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. Well, thank you so much, and I'm gonna have to get to my homework right now. So, but yeah, man, keep in touch, dude.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate you reaching out. Reach out anytime, okay?
Yeah, man. All right, hold on. Let me push pause real quick or stop recording.